Derwent Inktense in a coloring book. You told me you want a video dedicated to Derwent Inktense in particular with Rita Berman. Today is the day. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Tara. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm very new to adult coloring, but I'm not new to art. I've been an artist for almost 30 years. I'll put some images on the screen if this is the first time we're hanging out together so you can kind of see my vibe. Rita Berman's whimsical illustrations and incredible paper is screaming for using Derwent Inktense. In one of my other videos, I shared how to color like Rita Berman, and you guys loved it and told me you want more tutorials, in particular using water-based mediums. And many of my friends have told me you have Derwent Inktense and are kind of stuck with how to use them. Grab a cup of tea, a coffee, or a glass of a dry red, and let's get into it. So we're going to grab that sun yellow, that lemon, that sherbet lemon, the lightest yellow color. What I'm doing here, I'm pretty much adding it almost everywhere as a highlight color. And I'm not paying so much attention to what side it's on so much as I want it to kind of glow. So you can, another thing to consider is that Rita Berman a lot of times doesn't have the light coming from just one side. And it can add a lot of interest. So I'm just kind of going around and just adding some of this sun yellow. Now I'm going to grab the purpley color, and I'm just kind of looking around like, okay, I've got this lighter pink and then the purple color. And where do I want to put this color? And you really can't see it until it's activated. So sometimes you just have to, well, most of the time you just have to trust the process. And I'm really thinking about spreading this color around the scene. So using this purpley color as a shadow color rather than a gray color, that can be very, very helpful. Now we're going to activate this because I really want to see the color and look at how it is coming to life. So I like to activate one color at a time. So I'm kind of activating all of the yellow. And I love this because we can absolutely layer on top. Derwent Inktense, once it's dry, it's pretty much permanent. Like you're not going to lift it up like other water-based mediums. So this can be used to our advantage to have this glow coming. See how on the rabbit's right leg, I have all of this glow, but I don't have it everywhere. That like hint of color, not everywhere, but in certain spots really adds to it. It makes it so much more interesting. And I'm a fan of spreading the color around. So as you can see, as I'm activating this purpley color, I have it spread all throughout the picture. So it's not just in one corner, it's everywhere on the page. Like not every single detail of the page, but it's spread evenly throughout. That is what is going to create a cohesiveness. Now we're going to grab one of the blue shades, and just like we did with the others, I'm coming around, spreading the love around a little bit here, a little bit there. This kind of coloring is very different than the way that I think about coloring and art, which is such a realistic perspective where we're not going to really have so much fun with color as much as making it exactly as it looks. With these kind of illustrations, what I love doing is making it more fun, more of an unexpected color, like having the purple next to the blue and having it kind of in an unexpected way. And then I recommend, if you're not sure about what you're doing, and a lot of times I'm not sure when I'm trying something different, is to activate it to see how does it look. And I'm looking for harmony with colors more than this is the color of this object, because the bread that you can see with the golden highlights, I'm not going to have a blue loaf of bread. So it's not about the absolute color so much as the color harmony. Now I'm grabbing this very vivid apple green color. I love this color. And leaves do not have to be green. They can be, but they can also be blue, and they can be purple, and they can be orange. And just have fun, because these illustrations are just so playful. This is where we can have fun instead of being so bogged down with the perfectionistic mindset, which I am very stuck with. So I am looking at where else can I add a little bit of green so that the love is spread all around. This way that I'm doing this, where I'm pretty much doing one color at a time and activating it, is a great way to really get familiar with the way you like to put down color in coloring books if it is not necessarily a realistic vibe. Look at how pale this green is. And this is what is so great about this, because we can layer. Like if you know for certain what you want to do, you can go in with really like deeper colors, but I wasn't sure. So now I'm grabbing this more orangey color because I'm thinking I've got purple, I've got yellow, I've got this very pale green color. I think I need more saturation. And what you're seeing here with what I'm laying on the carrots, this color is going to be so much more vibrant when it's activated. So I'm just like, a couple of these petals can be this color, a little bit of this chair, a little bit over here, a little bit over there, so that it's more dispersed throughout. Then we're going to activate that color. And the great thing about doing it this way is because we're not activating the entire page, we don't have to worry about overworking or warping the page. Since I'm applying this, a lot of the spots I'm applying it is where I already had the yellow. It's going to just help to have this glow effect. So now we're going to grab another blue shade. Actually, I decided I'm going to grab this red color. I was going to go with blue, but then I'm like, I think I want to really ramp up the red color a little bit. Without necessarily rhyme or reason, I just want color. I really want to expand what I feel like something should look like. So if I want these to be tomatoes, I want there to be yellow and orange and red, and just putting a little bit here, a little bit there. And then you guessed it, my friend, we're going to just keep going just a little bit more. I'm itching to grab that water brush because it's not going to reflect what it's going to look like until it is activated. This way of coloring also makes my heart happy because it is so not the way my brain works normally. And then it is one of my favorite parts when we grab the water brush. You can see the colors coming to life in this first layer. I'm really considering this the first layer, even though maybe I'm going over a couple of spots more than once. I do apologize for my hair. Sometimes being in the shot, I get so carried away. I get so happy with this because it is a game changer when we activate it. And look at this, look at the rabbit's dress. It isn't just one color. We have purple juxtapositioned next to the orange and the blue next to the red. So it's creating such a vibrant vibe. And I want to go in with an even richer purple, like purpley pink color, because I'm looking at this thinking it needs more, it needs more saturation. A little bit here, a little bit there. We can do just a little bit at a time and grab another color. So let's grab this darker. This is a pretty dark shade, and we're going to need darks. We're going to need darks if we are going to have a high contrast picture. So this very dark, blue shade is perfect for that. Then activate this layer. Look at that pitchfork. That's not what it is, but look at how beautiful that is. The fact that it's not all one color adds to it, just like that pot, just like the rabbit's outfit. And it can be hard to know where you put the pencil down when you do it in this way. So just be kind to yourself, that it doesn't have to be perfect. If you put some water where there was no new pencil, it is fine. I promise you it's fine. So I do think we need a darker, this bluish, it's very, very dark. It's almost turquoise color. And this darker color can really help some of these details to be more vibrant. And I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to add it everywhere, just a little bit here and there. Experiment. If you're not sure how to do it, experiment. Like I have the pink to purple to blue to green of that flower pot. Look at how lively that looks. And I do believe it's because I don't have it so, it's not like a gradient. I'm not doing a gradient of color. I'm more just playfully putting color down. So now going in with an even brighter, more vivid shade of green and thinking about putting it in more of the, in more of a contrasty way. And where could it use a little bit more green? So putting the green next to the red, because they're complementary colors, is really going to make that pop. Like, look at that turquoisey green color. Look at how, oh my goodness, just looking at this just fills my heart with happiness. It really does. I do believe that when we have multiple different shades of a color, it just brings it to life. Like, why does a potted plant or a watering can have to be just one color? It looks, in my opinion, it looks so much better with a whimsical design like this when we have more colors. And remember, it doesn't have to necessarily make sense if we have a cohesiveness with the piece, with where the colors are positioned. Just like on that little beet house that we have over there, where it's like red and green next to each other, and one of the leaves are yellow. That is, like, in my opinion, perfection. Absolute perfection. You're seeing this in like a quicker time, but I am allowing stuff to dry. So I'm not putting pencil down over something that's wet. I'm slowly building up the layers. Now I'm going to add an even darker, like bluish color for even more depth. And this is where it's really helpful to have your swatch sheet, because if you just grab a pencil and you're looking at the barrel, it's not going to be what the color that you think it's going to be. Not with the Derwent Inktense, not in my opinion. Very gradually building up color, knowing that you're not going to mess with what's underneath it, because once you put the color down and it dries, it's like, it's done. So I did decide to grab another one. This is going to be listed in the description box. I wanted a more vivid purple color. So I'm just kind of going over some of the other spots that I've already added color. I'm not afraid to do that, and then activating it. And now we are going to see this come to life. Remember, you need deep colors. You're going to need contrasting colors, darks next to lights in order to add interest. I love watching this come to life with a water brush, because until you do this, you just are never going to know how vibrant it is once you bring it to life. And look at like the wood, how one of them is yellow and the one above it is purple. Why does the wood have to be brown? It's having such vivid colors next to each other, like yellow next to purple equals life. The little gnome on the left, how it's multiple different colors. And now I'm going in with even brighter colors, adding an even like more orangey red, like a more vivid color on top of the spots in certain spots. So not everywhere, but just a little bit here and there. Watch, when we bring this water brush in, it is going to be a game changer. I love doing this. I did want to add a little bit more of orange. Remember, layer upon layer upon layer. How many layers are we up to at this point? I feel like we must be at least on layer 7 or 8. And now I'm grabbing another pencil, another blue, and just adding a little bit here and there, because I'm noticing it's looking maybe a little bit flat. Like, I want even more color, more pink right there, adding a little bit. Look at that spigot. Is that the right word? With the water faucet. Look at how many colors are on there. It is glorious. Absolutely glorious. If you are enjoying this kind of peek inside my brain and how I color, I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and comment on this video. It really helps me out, and I sure do appreciate it. If you're interested in a non-sped up version of this so that you can see exactly step by step every single color, everything that I'm doing, I do have this available for my Studio Master members. If you are into full-on demos, you are definitely going to want to check that out. Look at how flipping beautiful this is. I hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into the way I color Rita Berman, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, will you put a paintbrush so I know you are still here? I love you guys. See you next time.